And we're live. Welcome, everybody. Um, Tonight, we're not going to be doing any type of starting a new letter to read, which the next in line, of course, in our daily scripture study will be Polycarp, and I'm very excited about that one. It's one not many people have studied. Very important. I myself haven't read it from start to finish. I have read bits and pieces of it. I'm glad we finished Clement. If you did not watch that, please, I encourage you to go listen to that study. It is very, very awesome. One of my favorite letters I've read so far. It has so much in it, so much important missing information that we need to know, and it really is so good to edify us in our walks. I'm telling you, that's a beautiful letter to the Corinthians. Shalom, everybody in the chat. Grace, Pam, Matt, thanks for being here tonight. Tonight, what I wanted to talk about, of course, you read the title, Are You Awake? And I know most of you in the chat most definitely are. But, feel free to share this if you want. If not, that's okay. Not many people will listen. Even if they do watch this, they still don't care. That's just the way it is. We're pretty much, I believe, in this stage. We was talking about not casting our pearls to swine last night. You know what it says to Matthew. Because I think we're at this stage where, people are going to make their own decisions up. There's nothing you can say to somebody that's going to. Sometimes, we do plant seeds, and that seed grows. Of course, it's not our doing why the seed grows. But, they come back and they'll say, man, you was right. Thank you for telling me that because you was right. And, that happens. But not usually. It usually don't. We're right now where we see everybody is, even people who call themselves awake, people who call themselves truthers, whatever, they're still badly deceived. Even what we know as what people call themselves, followers of Jesus, what they say, of course, I say Yahusha because that's in fact his name, but, most of the time they're, Christians, and they're still so bad deceived that it's not even funny. So, the reason I wanted to talk about this tonight is because a lot of people are talking about Donald Trump right now. Actually, I seen a Facebook post earlier where people had this post in this group where it was talking about Donald Trump, or as a follower of the Messiah, as believers, what should we be, a Democrat or Republican? And of course I messaged we shouldn't be neither one because they're both satanic. And of course everybody was like, well, you're a traitor to America, not knowing at all what they're even talking about. But that's the beast system. That's how it rolls out. Of course, we just got done reading Revelation. We see that's how it comes to play. That's the beast, is the different nations and how they form all these different sovereigns. Those are the horns of the beast, and we know this stuff. Thank you, Sister Grace. I appreciate that. I need it. I really do. I guess we all do, but and I seen a comment earlier. Hang on. Yeah, me and Scott was just talking about all this. Let me see here. Okay, so now you're on part 2. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy it. I know I definitely did. That's right, Matt. Yahuwah is our government, exactly, because the government really is a play on words, and it's govern your mind, and that's what they do, But this whole deal about well, first off, a long time ago we done a study, and I'm sure you guys have seen this. If you're not familiar, let me talk about it for a minute. We see this high-ranking Freemason had a letter to this Prime Minister of France, I think, and it explains why we had to have these world wars. The First World War done a different number of things to meet their goal. We know, it's all order out of chaos is how they work. They make this big ordeal happen, and then they bring control out of it, so people will have to turn to the government. It's been going on since the beginning of history. And, the Second World War was to mainly start the nation of Israel. And I want to say this, I say all the time that we are Israel because we are, but the word Israel in itself, and that's where we're just talking about words and how important words are, because they really are. Words are so important in knowing actually what a word means, the meaning behind different words. And the actual name Israel is three main words into one. We have Isis, Ra, and El, and they're all formed together, and that's how we get the Nation of Zionism over there. And they're fighting in the Middle East. They always have been fighting in the Middle East, and now I just want to make this clear in the best way I can, that all this, what we see on Fox News and CNN, how we know the news is all planned out, and it's to brainwash the people, to the masses, and it works like a charm. Everything we see on that box, actually, television, is to brainwash. Everything we've been through is to brainwash. It's crazy how far the deception goes. It's hard to even talk to somebody that you're trying to help out be awake, because there's just so much deception. So you're sounding like a crazy person just trying to explain it. But the same people who I think is the people at the top, which I'm pretty sure is the Zionist, right? Who Trump is a Zionist shill. He works for. He's kind of like a Israeli plant, if you think about it. And America is pretty much like this big testing ground, where they try all their different chemicals out, and just dump chemicals from airplanes, and we have people just eating on horrible stuff that's never even meant to be food. It's like this big testing ground, and they're just playing with us, and they're just we're like lab rats, and it's insane. It really is. And people don't even bat an eye, because they're so far in their sin, and they don't even have an ounce of the slightest clue of what's going on. They don't even think about it. For us, I think we knew at an early age. It was easy for us. I knew something was wrong when I was a kid. I didn't know what it was. But, the same people that's telling the people of Iran, Donald Trump is a bad guy. Donald Trump is a bad guy, and we know, we're being told that Iran done this, Iran done that. It's the same people, that start these wars. It's all staged, and I just wanted to come on here and talk about it for a couple minutes, because I know that's being talked about a lot right now, and everybody's talking about World War III, and it very well could be. We could go to war, but I just want everybody to know that we knew this was going to happen for some time now, because they have to have this New World Order. That way, the this full-on reality is going to come, where actually people are worshiping Satan, openly worshiping Satan as God. That's always been his plan. There you go, Matt. Exactly. You just nailed it. The upside down. Exactly. And that's why they make television shows and movies about this. They you can watch science fiction films. I don't recommend it, but you can watch what's going on TV and Netflix and all these different shows. What's trending on YouTube and what's popular is pretty much the way they're wanting things to look like and what they want things to happen. The stage fulfilling a prophecy. Yeah. Exactly, and it's crazy. Well, we know that the Creator, um, Yahuwah, he uses Satan. There's nothing that's out of his. Um, there's nothing that's out of his. I don't know what to say. I don't know a word to say for that. He has everything in control. The way it's going to happen. He knows the ending. He knows the beginning from the ending, and he uses Satan, the accuser of the brethren, for his purposes. I mean, if he wanted to, get rid of Satan, he would. And I was talking with somebody else the other day, actually, about, why is there so much evil in the world if there is God? If there's a God who created everything, then why is there so much evil in this world? And it's a very easy answer. It's because he didn't intend it to be. He didn't intend evil to happen. But there is rebellion, of course. The angels rebelled. The fallen angels. That's why they fell. But let me know what you all think in the chat, since we're just talking tonight about, all this deception. Let me know what you all think about all this. Yeah, there you go. It's you look around right now, and I mean we see teenagers, young men trying to dress up. Well, they do dress up, wearing makeup, promoting makeup. And I've seen them look like 40, 50 year old women. I'm like, what in the world? I never thought I would live in a day as we do today, and nobody even questions it. I mean, I completely agree. I mean, he's aware. I mean, free will. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. Exactly. Peter told us that. Timothy told us. They all, which Paul told us that in Timothy, in the letter to Timothy, but they all warned us of that, and that's exactly what we see. Bread and circus. Got to keep eyes on Yah and not get distracted by the media. Yeah, I agree. It is. You're exactly right. That's the way to put it. It's just a big circus. But it just, when I see so many people being misled, it's very sad. I find it very saddening to see all these people just being misled, and they think that they're doing a good thing, when they're just so bad deceived that they can't even begin to understand it. But like I said, we all know that it could be, and there will be, some type of war. But Donald Trump's doing his part. I don't know why people worship Donald Trump so much or any type of president, because they're all the same people. They're all the same puppets. They get paid to say what they say and to do what they do. Why do you think, we was, right when the beginning of the pagan New Year, because it's not the New Year. New Year's not till spring, of course. We know the month of Aviv, which another thing we've been meaning to try to study for a long time is the Hebrew calendar, because it's so important. The pagan New Year, just happened. What is it? The 6th day into the this new month that we're in, and everybody was just getting over celebrating their pagan holy days, if that's even what you want to call it, because it's not a holy day. These pagan days, Christmas and the pagan New Year, and then next thing you know, there was no discussion about it. There was no talk about it. There was no warning or anything. We hear about, this attack on Iran. This guy, I don't even know his name. That's how much I even care about it, because I know it's all bullcrap. And Iran gets hit with this missile, and then today we hear that the missiles are being fired back at the U.S. The place where in Iraq where the U.S. soldiers are being held in case for war or whatever. There was nothing. It just happened because it's all. For all we know, nobody even got killed, and I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. Oh man, it is amazing, Brother Pete. Thanks for being here tonight. Also, yeah, it is. It's because it makes so much more sense that when spring comes, that's when everything's coming back to life. It makes more sense that is the new year, and then they have enough nerve to even call it April Fool's Day. It's insane. And there we go. The words are so important. Just reading the chat. That's right. Yeah, that's what I always say, Matt. Two wings of the same bird. That's what I always explain it also. Total show. Yeah. Yes. It's awesome that, we have a good fellowship going here, that everybody's in one accord. We're all in the same agreement, because that's the way it's supposed to be. Of course, I wish it was in person. The Roman Catholic Church kept it correctly, but changed it back to January. Right. Yeah, I just wanted to get on here for a couple minutes and let everybody know my thoughts on all this bull crap that's going on right now. Because that's all I've been hearing, that's all I've been seeing, is all this World War III memes and Donald Trump. So many people they almost worship this guy, Yes. Yeah, Pete. See, let me say this right quick before I get off here, because I'm not gonna get on here too much longer. I just wanted to come on here and talk for a couple minutes and let everybody know about what I was thinking about this. See what you all thought. But anyways, and tomorrow for sure we are going to start Polycarp, the study of Polycarp. It's in the D's. I don't know what you're talking about, Pete. But anyways, Pete, I don't know if you'd be willing to do this or whatever, we can work it in your schedule, whatever. But we need to do a study on the calendar, the Hebrew calendar. It's something that I've been wanting to do for such a long time. And I don't know I'm sure you guys remember me saying this. I've talked about this a lot, that we need to do this study on the Hebrew calendar and on the feast days. Because these are I'll tell you this, the transgression of it, if you're not doing it, then you're in sin. And a lot of people don't like to hear that, but it's true. He commands us flat out to keep these feasts. And I will agree that if you don't know how to do them, then how could you do them, right? But that's why we are trying to be better. We're trying to better ourselves each day. We're trying to be more of the image of Yahushua. Yahushua kept the feast. And they're so significant on his second coming, his return. That's why we will not be caught off guard. It has a lot to do with it. So we need to do a study on that. And Pete, I don't know if you'd be willing to come on with me and help me do that study, since you've actually made a calendar that we could use, and since you was the one that made it, you'd be way better than me of explaining it. Yes, so he is willing to come on, so I need to get up with Pete, and we need to do that, plan that very soon also. It's the way I am, when I set my mind to something, I want to do it. I don't want to wait for a certain day. I just want to go ahead and do it, get out of the way. Um, reading the chat. I mean, thanks, Scott. Yes, I mean it might help. You never know. If just one person comes across one of these videos and then maybe they start watching the rest of them, it may change everything. It may change their whole life. So that's awesome, Pam. That's very cool. I don't know many people that reads that, so that's awesome. Um, and it is a lot of people say that, well, that's not scripture. They'll agree with Enoch, they'll agree with certain things, but they'll say Jasher is not scripture. But in my personal opinion, I do believe it is, because we see David. I actually have it written down somewhere. First Chronicles and Joshua 10 and First Chronicles. He actually talks about Jasher. David does. So why would he talk about something that's not scripture? You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not that it's baby Genesis. I don't know if it's what you meant to say or not. Well, Pam, I personally believe that Genesis is a slimmed down version of Jasher and Enoch and Jubilee. Me and Pete actually talked about this before, that we believe that Genesis is a summary of Jasher and Jubilee, because Genesis only gives us a brief mention of Enoch. The angels that come down, the fallen angels, right? In Genesis chapter 6, it only gives us brief mentions of certain things. And if you read, I don't know, but why does David quote from it, Pete? That's there you go. Answer me that. I don't know. Maybe it's just a translation problem or something. I'm not sure, but to me it is, because why would David quote from it? Who knows? There's so many different translations today that we're actually not even reading the scripture. We're reading a watered down version of the scripture. My opinion. Amen, Brother Matt. Yes. Okay, cool. Exactly. That you got it right, Pam. Exactly. That's what I was trying to say, Scott. That it could be, just like Second Enoch. Maybe it's just so bad, misinterpreted, mistranslated. Because, flat out, David quoted from it, so why would he quote from it? And you know what I'm saying? Sister Heather, shalom. Good to see you tonight. I'm actually getting ready to get off right now. Sister Kathy, good to see you tonight. Hope everybody's doing okay. Yeah. There you go, Pam. That's true, that's exactly true. It's all been tampered. It's all been mingled with. It's all been omitted from, added to. It has. We have to use discernment, just like you said, and study it diligently. It's crazy. It really is. But it's true. Seeking the kingdom. I don't know if that's Jesse or not. Whoever it is, shalom. I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm not saying that it's definitely is, Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Who knows? The only thing we can do is put it to the rest of the scripture, and the point is, it doesn't add anything anyway. It doesn't add anything that we don't already know anyway. So, you know what I mean? It's not telling us anything that we didn't already know anyways. So, But guys, please don't get wrapped up. I just wanted to come on for a minute and talk about everything that's going on. Okay. Thanks, Grace. I wanted to come on for a minute and talk about, everything that I've been seeing right now, and I wanted to let everybody know, please don't be wrapped up. You might do a better job than me. I'm not trying to, act like I'm trying to tell you what to do or anything like that. Please don't think that. But you might be doing a better job than me and not getting wrapped up in this stuff. But I just wanted to make sure, and I wanted to come on here and say, don't get wrapped up in all this bull crap, all this false media, and all this terror, these tactics that they use to get you in fear and to submit to their will. Just don't get wrapped up in all the false media and all the fakeness and all this crap. It'll be tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it also, sister. Because I know it'll be awesome. Good night, sister. So, anyways, Polycop tomorrow. Looking forward to it, and just want to say thanks for everybody being here tonight, and each day and each night that we do these and participating and trying to study and walk this thing out like we're supposed to. And so much more people are actually seeing it for what it is. I don't know if you guys noticed that or not, but they are a lot of people coming to see the truth for really what it is. They've noticed for so long that the church is just filled of lies and hypocrisy and nothing but just false doctrine, and now they're finally seeing for what it is. And I think that is because we were so close to the coming of our Messiah. But guys, I love you all. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night, and just stay in the Word, stay in prayer, and everything's going to be okay. We know that. Amen. I'll see you tomorrow. Shalom.